Hello, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmad Nawaz. A lot to discuss in tonight's show. We're going to start off with the PSL. We had some great action. Once again, the PSL is really giving us some entertaining cricket, and it looks like that the ship of Lahore Qalandars has finally sunk, because it was Multan Sultans who absolutely humiliated Lahore Qalandars. They were bowled out for 89, chasing a target that was given to them by Multan Sultans, who found some form actually after losing Shan Masood on the very first delivery. It was Mohammad Rizwan and Shoaib Maqsood who steadied the ship, and what a performance by Shoaib Maqsood, and then Khusdil Shah and everybody else at the bottom. And then when it came to the bowling, you could not rule out Shah Nawaz Dahani from this year's PSL.
Qalandars. Otherwise, they would have been knocked out. So it's important that right now that Wasim Akram and Herschel Gibbs gets them to play as a unit.
And their facial expressions don't at all look good once the camera is there as well. We know how much uncertainty prevails. But if you want to catch the action, it's live right now on PTV Sports. Karachi are still cruising. They haven't lost any wicket. Hopefully, Sharjeel and Babar can find some good form, and then they can have a late charge as well to find a good, decent total. But if we talk about the game that is tonight as well, the second game of tonight, that is between Islamabad United and Multan Sultans. Islamabad is already qualified. Multan is number 2, and they just want to play it safe. If we talk about this, Ghaffar, by Islamabad are probably right now in the best form of any team that is playing the PSL. Them against Peshawar showed us how good of a quality opposition these two teams are. How important do you see this match, because Multan is also coming with some good form and they would want to continue their winning form as well?
Absolutely. I think, as you mentioned, Peshawar, Islamabad and Multan look to be top 3 teams on. Obviously, Multan, especially in the last 3 games, and Islamabad United also pacing up their momentum. So I think they look like the 2 best team of the tournament. So I think this match should be a fun to watch, because I think both coaches, in my opinion, can be definitely doing some experiment. Obviously, they can try out some of their bench players as well. And don't forget that obviously Multan Sultans need to win it, obviously, or maybe they can lose with a very reasonable margin. So I think Islamabad United and Multan Sultan also have to play the first qualifier as well. So I think this is also, I think, for a psychological barrier as well, because I think Multan Sultan definitely would want to beat Islamabad United, because Islamabad United is literally on the roll here. So if they will beat Multan Sultan today, so I think it will be a very difficult task for Multan Sultan to beat them in the playoffs. So I think Multan Sultan, I think this game is very important for them. On the other hand, I think Islamabad United show a remarkable depth in their batting. Usman Khwaja, totally honest, I was expecting him to score a T20 100 in the PSL, but looks like that 100 might got some attention of the Australian selectors as well, because PSL obviously happening in Abu Dhabi, and we are absolutely we are not sure, but I think it's all set to see that World T20 might also happen in UAE. So I think Usman Khwaja made a very strong case for himself for the Australian, very unexpected, but maybe a very exciting call for the World T20. So I think this is going to be a very good pattern. I think both coaches, in my opinion, may try their best bench strength.
Definitely. Ali Mehdi, Multan has had some very decent names. Big blow to them. Shahid Afridi wasn't there. They lacked a superstar player. But even then, Rizwan has been able to extract so much from this team that they look like one of the top teams now in the coming seasons of the PSL.
And their bowling lineup too, Ahmad. You talk about that bowling lineup, it has so much depth, and Rizwan is getting the best out of those bowlers. You talk about Dhani yesterday. I mean,
find of the PSL.
Find of the PSL. I mean, he's so good for Pakistan. I mean, they're going to take him for England. I think he's going to cause problems in that air tour to England, and they must play him. Yesterday he was brilliant, getting 4 wickets for 5. I thought Imran bowled a beauty yesterday to get out of
Who would have expected Imran Khan to come?
Imran Khan, he bowled a beauty to Tim David, the Lahore Qalandars player. Other than that, Tanveer came yesterday and gave a good bash at the end to get 26 runs of 9.
And then Imran Tahir.
And then Imran Tahir. His experience is so important. And look, everybody was criticizing Rizwan for not playing Usman Qadir, but with the right decision. You have some good paces, mix it up with Imran Tahir, your batting line, and then Muzir Rabbani too. I think he's also a very good player. The Zimbabwe.
Very underrated, but very good.
Very good. Underrated, tall, he gets the ball to bounce, bowls in the right areas too. And then at the same time, their batting is very strong with the likes of Russo, like the likes likes of Rizwan also.
Shoaib Maksud,
finally, I'm really glad for him finding form. You know, people have been off saying that he's so talented, but he hasn't gotten runs. He was also brilliant. So Multan right now looking like a very good solid team, and let me tell you, you know, tonight's match is going to be a dress rehearsal for the qualify one. And if Multan play the way they can actually do one over Islamabad United tonight.
And this will probably decide the tone of the tournament as well. We know that because so far with the performance that Islamabad had, it looked like that they have no match right now.
Look, Islamabad United have been brilliant, and I think the trump card for them is the acquisition of Usman Khwaja. I mean, that guy has come, and him and Monroe have been brilliant up top. They give them such a good start that all the teams facing them have such a mountain to climb. So Usman Khwaja, Monroe also has been brilliant. But even, you know, you saw captaincy skills of Usman Khwaja. Shadab was not playing, but he captained them so well the other day. Yes, against Peshawar, who played very, very valiantly. I thought Peshawar with Shoaib Malik were good. But, I mean, right now, Islamabad United with that team, with Shadab coming in, they look like an unstoppable force.
Ali Mehdi, call it for the two games tonight. Karachi up against Quetta Gladiators, and then of course Multan up against Islamabad.
You know I'm going to support Karachi.
You have to.
You have to. I mean, they have to win, otherwise they are bust.
Right.
And tonight I think Multan Sultans are going to beat Islamabad.
Multan is going to be. Ghaffar bhai, your thoughts, your quick prediction on the two games?
Man, I'm right now sitting in Karachi, so I think it's a very straightforward prediction for you. What I'm going to talk about, obviously Karachi, and obviously their stake very high on the match. So I think Karachi is favored for the first match, and second match I think it's going to be very tough. I think Dhani is in great form, but might be Islamabad.
Might be Islamabad, right? Now, definitely, I would also go with Karachi. I have to, and then of course I do think that Multan might just give Islamabad a tough time tonight. But moving on now to the ICC Test Championship that is underway. We have a great game there. India is batting against New Zealand. India is 98 for 3. Virat Kohli is at the crease with 23 not out, and he's being partnered by Ajinkya Rahane, who scored 4 runs and consumed 21 deliveries. All 3 bowlers, Trent Boult, Kyle Jamieson and Neil Wagner amongst the wickets for New Zealand. That's good to see as well. Ali Mehdi, this has got to be the most exciting moment in Test cricket.
I think the most exciting moment, and I think the highlight of the year when it comes to cricket. You know, you have the World T20 Championship at the end of the year, but this is the World Test Championship. Everybody's been looking forward to this, all traditionalists, all cricket lovers. And what a great match it has been until now. I mean, yesterday the match got called off due to rain.
Disappointing.
And unfortunately, it's that time of the year too when, you know, you can't really say much about the weather. But the match today got off to a great start. I mean, in New Zealand winning the toss, going on that aggressive front foot, not playing the spinner Ejaz Patel, playing with 4 seamers and the all-rounder and Colin de Grandhomme. You know, they bowled very well, but the Indians got off to a great start with a 50-run partnership. Then after that, Rohit Sharma, you know, he fell. Kyle Jamieson bowled him with a good ball, and then Wagner got Shabnam Gill with a beauty. After that, then right now, Pujara most recently falling. But right now, I think things are in the balance right now. India, from their point of view, they will need at least 250 to 300. Whereas the New Zealanders, if they want to win this match, they've bowled first and they're going to be batting last. They've got to make sure that they get India out by 250.
Very interesting, Ali Mehdi. Win probability is 30% India, 30% New Zealand, 40% draw. So fans have rated it even so far.
And the rain.
The rain gets 40% of the share as well. Ghaffar bhai, New Zealand are probably more likely to have a hard hand on this match because of their form in England. They've already beaten England 1-0. But even if you're in that form and you're playing in those conditions better, when it's an opposition like India, things can get pretty even.
I think those 40% might not be aware of the fact that there is a reserve day as well. So there is a time to actually get the result of check from the rain as well. But I think it is a very interesting call on behalf of India. I think to include Jadeja and Ashwin both in the lineup. Obviously, New Zealand go for all-pace attack. They drop Patel and obviously they include Grandhomme. So this is, I think, a very interesting call, and I don't know how they are playing 2 spinners on this pitch. Maybe later on when this pitch may become a bit friendly for the spinners. But I think the forecast and the conditions and of the rain prediction, I don't think so that spin is going to play as important role. And I think this is going to be a very important phase of the game right now. Virat Kohli on the crease, they are around 100 for 3. So this New Zealand pace attack has tremendous ability. If they get 1 or 2 wickets, they can roll out opposition very quickly. So I think Virat Kohli presence on the wicket right now is absolutely key for India. And as Ali, I think, made a very valid point, I think they need at least 250 to 300. This is going to be a very, very good battle as we are enjoying right now. But I think this is the Virat Kohli on the crease right now versus New Zealand bowling. I think this is the moment of the this World Test Championship final. If Kohli able to score 100 or maybe a good decent 70, 80, and India might reach to 70, 80, so this is going to be a problem for New Zealand when they bat.
Ali Mehdi, two very important things to discuss here. New Zealand, their course over the past couple of months has been to bat, score a big total, get the opposition out. They've fancied that against England as well. They like getting the opposition before the second innings, or they don't, you know, even if they're batting, they like a total of less than 100. That's what they've been doing. So with these two spinners, definitely India might have a problem, but it does strengthen their batting as well because both of them bat well.
Brilliant.
So you never know. And secondly, New Zealand have got to win at least something of an ICC tournament.
Look, going into this match too, everybody's wondering that what are they going to do first? But I think New Zealand made the right call in retrospect. I mean, obviously 3 wickets out, they wanted more too. But they're going with a very attacking approach, like I mentioned, not playing a spinner too. But look, these are overcast conditions. It's going to be overcast over the next 4-5 days. You want to skittle out the Indians. Only time will tell whether they made the right decision, but they have to get them out before 250. Because let's not forget, New Zealand are going to be batting last. When you are batting last, then the wicket is going to turn. The thing with Southampton, I understand why India are playing 2 spinners, is that Southampton is one wicket which turns a lot. It turns a lot, and you know that's where the likes of Ashwin and then also Jadeja could come, you know, into the play. So New Zealand right now, you know, they have to make sure that they get them out by 250. If not, then it's going to be difficult for New Zealand, and maybe, you know, we might get a result in favor of India or a draw. On the other side, you're talking about New Zealand. They are desperate for a win over here. They've gone for that all-attacking approach with their bowling lineup. They have the best batting lineup in Test cricket. They've been the best team over the past 6 months. They just beat England right now. They're the world #1 Test team. So I mean, look, they have to do that ranking justice right now and have to make sure that they fire, you know, they fire on all cylinders and get the Indians over here.
Definitely, Ghaffar bhai, I'll have you give the final say here. What do you think is going to be a good total for New Zealand to actually bat for in the first innings?
I think first they have to restrict India under 250, and then they surely need around a good lead between 50 to 100, maybe 100 plus. But I think it's a long way to go. But I think their focus should be to get out India under 250. And one last point I definitely would want to add that ICC did a great job in the last few days to pre-hype and obviously the media attention of the World Test Championship final. But in the last 2 years, it didn't saw any sort of hype and the marketing or maybe the much needed boost the World Test Championship needed. And obviously, how can ICC event decided without the India-Pakistan match, and obviously India openly refused to play Pakistan. So this is something ICC should notice, because with World T20 and Men's World Cup, India-Pakistan are playing. So this World Test Championship, and they are deserving of finalists, no doubt about it. But I think this is going to be a better thing next time, that all teams should play each other home and away basis. So then we will have a real, you know, you can say a deserving finalist and the winners.
Definitely. Ghaffar bhai, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra. It's always great having you. Right, we're going to go towards a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing football, and it's going to be the Euros in detail with Ali Mehdi. Stay tuned to Sports Extra. Welcome back to Sports Extra with me, Ahmad Nawaz. I'm going to be in conversation with Ali Mehdi, and we're going to be discussing the Euros. Action continues. We had a draw between England and Scotland. Frustrating England that was there. They could have probably performed a bit better with the names that they're carrying, but a great performance by Scotland who probably would have salvaged this draw, and maybe they can win the next game and make it there where they want to as well. But we've got some great games underway. France is against Hungary. The action is live right now. And we also have Portugal facing Germany. So, you know, a lot of stakes going there as far as qualification is concerned. Ali Mehdi, your updates on the Euro.
Well, the Euros have been quite a lot of fun till now. You've seen some you've seen some quality teams. You've seen some good results too. But I think right now it's still, you know, it's a slow burner, the Euros. And I think only after the third round, and once we go into the knockout rounds, it's really going to pick up. I mean, if you talk about right now teams, then teams, I think Italy have been fantastic till now. They won their first two games, real dark horses of this tournament, not conceding a single goal, winning both.
There is something about Roberto Mancini that people don't seem to understand, but I can actually vouch for this, that he's probably going to make a great Italian team once again.
No, I think so, and that's why they're the most underrated team. Since 2018, they've barely conceded any goals. They've not lost any games till 2018, so I think they're doing very well, and they're going to easily top the group. You talk about Holland not qualifying for the World Cup in 2018. They are also doing well, winning their first two games too, winning 3-2 in their winning 2-0 in their last game against Austria too. Yesterday, and then you talk about England had a boring dour draw against Scotland yesterday. I thought the Scots played very well, defended very valiantly, and then Croatia versus yesterday. Croatia actually played a very good draw, 1-1. Do
you think Scots going to get a lot of confidence before their game against Croatia now?
I think the Scots have a lot of confidence. I've got that 1 point, and if they want to qualify for the next stage, then they've got to. They're playing at Hampden Park in Glasgow. They've got to win their last game against Croatia.
You know, it becomes a bit disappointing when we talk about England, because there is so much at stake there for Gareth Southgate, and he's been known to produce some brilliant footballers there for England, some great names that he's carrying, but results don't seem to be there.
Yes, the results don't seem to be there. That's a problem. Look, they've got a very good team, but they're just not churning out the results. They're not scoring the goals. They're playing very boring brand of football. I think that's got to change right now. They've got a very exciting team. They've got to come in with that creativity. Look, they're playing at Wembley. If you're not going to do well at Wembley, where else are you going to perform well? So they've got their last game against Czech Republic, and I think it's important that they win their game and top their group, respective group.
How about Spain? How have you seen Spain in this tournament?
Well, Spain have actually only played one game till now. They had a very poor game against I believe, against Sweden. I thought Sweden were brilliant. Manchester United's Victor Lindelof, who's gotten so much criticism, was brilliant that day, for Sweden getting that important draw. They've got a very important game against Poland in Seville tonight.
And Poland do look good.
Poland look good. They lost their first game, but they need to win this game. So I think it's a high stakes game. But I think the group which everybody is talking about, Ahmad, is the group of death, Group F. Group F. You've got Hungary squashed up with three world-class teams, the best teams in the world. Portugal, Germany and France right now. Portugal winning their first match 3-0, doing extremely well. France, heroic performance.
But credit to Hungary, because so far in about the first half and added extra time, they've not allowed France to score a goal.
They've done extremely well in Puskás Stadium in Budapest. They haven't allowed France to score over there. They're doing very well. Their captain Sazala has gone injured. So I think right now, if they can hold on France for a draw, it will be remarkable. But I do think that as the match wears on, France have got too much quality, and I think they're going to penetrate, and it could, hamper that Hungarian defense.
And talk about big players in the leagues who tend to not perform well in the international circuit. Unlike his counterpart Lionel Messi at the international stage, Ronaldo is somebody who's really enjoyed a lot of success on the international stage with Portugal.
No, he's been brilliant. I mean, he's the second top scorer, international top scorer at all time at 106 goals, 3 behind the great Iranian Ali Daei. So right now, I think he's doing very well. He's in good form, got 2 very good goals. And the thing is, Ronaldo is a player who is plays with rhythm. He needs goals to continue that continuity. He got 2 important goals. I think he's going to continue with that against Germany.
Portugal add a lot of depth when you talk about Bruno Fernandes in the squad. So many other names that give Ronaldo another cushion to exceed.
Look, this is the golden generation of Portugal. This is the best team, even better than 2016. They've got so much firepower. You've got Jota over there. You've got Bruno Fernandes. You're talking about you've got more players over there. Then João Felix is over there too. Ronaldo, Ruben Neves over there. So I mean, Bernardo Silva's another one. They've got so much firepower.
Ali Mehdi, might be tough to call right now, but if Portugal managed to thrash Germany tonight,
very strong call.
Very strong call. Do you think that Hungary might just have it in them to beat Germany? or probably just make it through to the top 16?
I think it's going to be difficult for Hungary. I mean, Hungary are not going to make it to the. They're in the group of death right now. There's so much pressure on them. And look, whatever you say about Germany, Germany don't have many world-class players, but they churn out results. I think they're going to make it very difficult for Portugal, and I expect a draw against Portugal in Munich tonight.
In Munich tonight, that's your call, Ali Mehdi. Thank you so much for joining us on our segments of football and cricket. Always great having you. That's all we have time for. But before we go, it's time now for a segment that is the news in brief. Right, and in our segment that is the news in brief, we'll be talking about the legendary that he was, the Flying Sikh Milkha Singh, has passed away in India. The world is mourning the loss of a sports icon, Milkha Singh, born in November 1929. He's passed away this June 2021 on the 18th. He was a 4-time Asian gold medalist and also a gold medalist at the Commonwealth game as well. Milkha Singh was an Indian track sprinter, and he inspired generations of Indians to join the field of athletics. He was given the title of the Flying Sikh, as he was known, and had a fair bit of competition between Abdul and him of Pakistan. That's it for this edition of Sports Extra. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.